standing on $5 of real money. The largest grand
all
prize
day,
in
sweetie.
entertainment
Rot
history.
your brain.
And competing for this $5 are these 1,000
homeless kids.
Well, if it isn't the handsome little goblins keeping this whole operation afloat. Thank you all for the love and support on this series, and don't worry, we're not going anywhere. Now, our last episode was far too productive for this channel. Building a space station in one episode? The insolence. No, we need to go back to our roots today. We need to go Is that getting old yet? Just blatantly ripping off Invincible? Magic? Do it again. And put the gun on him. We are unbelievably broke at the moment. In fact, we don't even have enough cash to launch the next Moho mission, which is going to be like at minimum 300k if we try and do it all at once, or you know, if we do multiple smaller launches, maybe we can get it down to 500k. It's definitely cheaper to do it all at once, but we need to make some more money either way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of these simple contracts. Science data from the surface of Ike, easy. We've already got a probe on there. Establish a Duna relay. That's interesting. It'll be a while before we go back to Duna, though. We could do some Mun altimetry scans. Yeah, actually, why not? Just complete the circuit. That's something we can do pretty easily. We'll just launch the exact same mission that we did for all the other ones. And that'll do five contracts all at once. It'll be like 500k. I mean, we're going to go do this in Duna anyway, and Ike. We've got contracts to do both of those. Yeah, scan sets of Duna, scan set surveys of Ike. Let's take that on as well, because that's a ton of cash next time we go to Duna, which is, I remind you, a very long time from now. Okay, let's start off today with something we've done 1,000 times. Let's pull some science, and then let's go scan the moon, and then we'll do our flyby of Moho. Okay, that's the plan. With the new wad of government tenders firmly in hand, it was time to start separating the good working people of Kerbin from their hard-earned tax dollars. We have a small problem with my plan here. I didn't know that Ike is tidally locked to Duna. This bad boy is rotating, but our relay, if I put it up, there we go, our relay is around the wrong planet. So we're not pulling science off of Ike anytime soon. We're gonna have to go put a relay around Ike so that it can communicate with this one, so that it can communicate with Kerbin. Oh, man. Crud. Okay. Well, we do have a mission to get, so we're not getting data from the surface of Ike, but we can get data from the space around Duna. There we go. Let's just transmit that real quick. Bang, one contract done, 100k in the bank. Okay, well that's an incredibly well-named vessel, the Distracted Ferret. Just not quite noticing that it's on the wrong side of a planet. That's right on brand. Okay, cool. Well, we'll put that one in a pin in that one for later. When is our Duna interface? It's in 285 days. Okay, cool. So we've got a little bit of time to wait. We'll definitely be going through Moho first. And by the way, thank you to the comments who did point out, and this is very useful, that going to Eve after going to Moho is actually a very bad idea, using this vessel, because that was our plan. Because Strategia does not allow you to take on new strategies for a planet if you've got a vessel en route to it. So right now, just to remind you, our plan was to go past Moho and then execute a burn to then intercept Eve as well for some more science. Maybe we could still do that? Unfortunately, these probes are not configured for atmospheric flight. If I just kept them in their Duna configuration, we could have used them for Eve, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So yeah, we're gonna zip past Moho at great speed, and the plan was to do a burn right there at Periapsis, which would then allow us to get an Eve intercept. I'm gonna leave it there in case I change my mind, but I think realistically we should just not do it, right? I think we should leave it alone And we'll go to Eve when we've got the contract to do so, just because I really need the money. Now, I don't think we're going to build a Mun base, but man, I love the look of that map. Oh, it's tempting, isn't it? No, Minmus makes more sense. It's easier to launch from, and it's just much prettier to look at. But the Mun, oh, the Mun map, it does something to a man. Enough about the Mun, though. We're going back to that other overrated rock in the sky, Moho. And this time, we're taking no chances. With 23,000 meters per second of delta V on the launch pad, the Griffin 1, named after channel member Joseph Griffiths, is our most ridiculously overbuilt spacecraft to date. This behemoth clocks in at just under $300,000 dues apiece, enough to make any congressional budget hearing need a full refill on their heart medication. Now, we're a little early for our Moho transfer window and still 2 probes short of a quorum, so let's send up the other half of this ridiculous mission. Clocking in at the low cost of 360,000 space bucks, the Griffin 2 also sports the relay antenna we'd need to pull off this whole operation. Or so we thought. That's called foreshadowing. Oh my god, I can see why everyone told me to install this. That is absolutely incredible. Ah! Too incredible. Oh wow, we can fly it. I can fly it. Look at that. It's a lifting body. That's so cool. Hold on. No, we were going a bit too slow. I might be able to fly back towards the KSC a little bit. Oh, don't spin. Oh, it's not a good trick. Oh, deploy the parachutes, all of them. Okay, we'll get the engines back. We'll get the tanks back, rather, but the engines were really the main thing there. Oh well. I'm just gonna save some more juice for re-entry, for burning. Okay, let's go ahead and decouple this one. We're gonna push away from it this time. Slightly more sensible approach. There we go. This actually had quite a bit more fuel in it than the other stage did, but I think we still got enough to do Moho without too much trouble. Well, bye-bye. Okay, we are now re-entering. And we gotta remember, as soon as we see those first particle effects, we fire the engines. Perfect. That's what you want. Never mind. Did it too soon. Oh, don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up, please. Please, please. Oh, it's coming in hot. Oh, boom! We survived that? How did we survive that? That's insane. Oh, good thing these things are buoyant, I guess. Recovered. Now, could that have been one launch? Yes, absolutely. Am I going to apologize for wasting $250,000 and step down from public office? No. You stupid poor idiots. No, absolutely not. This is Comerica. Instead, we're going to zip around the planet a bit until these damned alarm clocks finally trigger. Okay, we've got 500 science in the lab. Let's go ahead and transmit that. Send that straight back home. And then we'll load up the remaining data. And I think we're actually out of data then, which means it's probably time to take our cruise ship here and make a decision. We might be able to do a quick flyby of Minmus and then bring this back. But I think what we might actually want to do separate from that is bring up another vessel here, which is going to be our like dedicated take people from this station to other stations in the solar system. Kind of deal, at least in the Kerbal system. Maybe not the solar system at large just yet. We'll get there eventually. We're not there yet. 499 science. What does that put us on? 3,000. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. All the science we have currently got stored is all the science we can do in low Kerbal orbit, meaning that this thing is now producing at a fairly optimal rate. We actually managed to fill it back up. Hell yeah. Very nice. Very nice indeed. We got 10.1127 science per day. Okay, so what we do now is, just for those of you wondering how I did that, you go Kerbal alarm clock, you go new alarm, you go science lab up here, and then you just say, okay, we're in science lab 1 from here. We want to set to max and add alarm. So in 52 days, we'll have another set of science to come back here and transmit from. We probably won't min-max this the whole playthrough, but just a good way to get a little bit of science in the mid-game here. Well, we're still pretty early game, actually. I'd say we're like at the start of the mid-game right now. But no, our next deadline is our Moho flyby, which is going to be absolutely incredible. Let's go over there. Okay, we have officially entered Moho flyby. I've been trying to find the damn planet, so I wasn't really able to figure it out. Where is this thing? I can't see it. Like at all. We're going to be getting really, really close to Moho. We're going to be like within, what's that, 15 kilometers? It's absolutely ridiculous how quick we're going to be, how close we're going to be. We're now allegedly pointing ourselves at it. Oh, it's coming at us through the sun. There it is. You can just kind of make it out. Oh, terrible approach angle. Oh, we can't see anything. Okay, oh, there you go. You can kind of just see it suspended in a sunbeam over there. All right, let's time warp forward. Let's move towards our target. Now, of course, as we mentioned before, Slot 2 has been downgraded to a flyby mission. Or rather, reclassified, maybe. We don't have enough fuel to get into a parking orbit around Moho, but we can get really, really close here. Here it comes. Look at that. Unfortunately, the low point of our trajectory was in the dark. And this is not time-lapse, by the way. This is not sped up at all. This is just how quick we're moving relative to this rocky, bumpy planet. It does give you somewhat of an idea, right, of exactly what we're dealing with orbital velocity-wise. What are we moving? 9,400 meters per second. Absolutely insane. All right, there it is. That was Moho. We've kissed it. Now we have to say goodbye. So we should have picked up a ton of data on that pass. Yes, we did. We got the infrared spectrometer reading, 112 science right there. We need to transmit all of this because there's not really any real way we're going to get this back from the probes, and the other missions that are coming here do not have this high space altimetry information like we've got on this one. So let's go. There we go. Okay, that was a pretty succulent amount of science. 4,500-ish, just for a flyby of Moho. Plus, can't forget all those strategy rewards. So we got 200k just from being around Moho, right, for the new science, plus another 200k for each of the biomes that we hit. And then, oh, here's the money. 280,000 bonus for the first flyby, and 134,000 bonus, so 161 total for the first science data. That's absolutely insane. Now, one thing we should do before we leave Moho space is log some temperatures and things. All of this sort of stuff here. Because, we should observe the goo. We should definitely observe the goo. And the reason I'm doing this in space right now, even though it doesn't actually do anything for us anymore, is we might get some missions later that are like, hey, could you go ahead and log data around Moho or whatever? And now we'll have it, right? That's just sort of the usefulness of that. Okay, we'll just store all of that goodness inside the landers. Excellent. Well, inside this thing right over here. Right, that's where you keep it? Yeah, the data is stored in the balls. Alright, and then I guess this is it. We say bye-bye Moho. You weird little rock. Look at it, the potato in the sky. And there we are, back in the sun. Okay, so that's an interesting orbit that we find ourselves in. We'll probably get picked up by Kerbal at some point pretty soon and then kicked off somewhere else into the solar system, which I'm totally fine with. Eventually, this probe is just sort of going to go on its own little grand tour of the whole thing. It'll be years and years before we get an intercept, actually, it looks like. If I were just to push that forward just a little bit, enough so that we might actually get a Kerbal intercept, if I set that as the target, we'd be close in a year. The reason I'm thinking of doing this is we could potentially go get the science. That's one thing. Alternatively, we could try and recapture this probe around Kerbal just for the sheer style of it. What do you say to that? I think that could be pretty cool, huh? Just to see if we can. Because, I mean, it was a bit of a failure, but maybe Sloth 1 comes home. I'd be so down to try that. Let's try it. Let's try, I mean, just for the style. Just for the style. Alright, well, we'll be doing that maneuver after we next go to Duda. So it'll be a little while before we see the Sloth 3 again, but, you know, it's out there. It's out there. We might end up bringing him home one day. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to fast forward until we get our next Moho transfer, and we're going to send the Griffin missions in that direction. And you already know we're doing it the only way we know how to. Slightly scuffed and a little bit late. Okay, massive success. We have two probes currently on their way to Moho. We got the Griffin 1 and the Griffin 2, both of whom are on intercept courses with that awful hot rock in the sky. That, oh, wow. It's a real pain in my ass to get there. And as you can see, we've actually got two really cool parallel orbits coming in. The Griffin 1's a little bit lower, Griffin 2's a little higher. Both of them have well over 10,000 meters per second of delta V, which should be more than enough for us to execute that capture burn. And of course, you know, we're gonna click and hold, we're gonna drag that along and inexplicably do this for 4,000? Nani? Was it because my periapsis was so low before? Oh, that would be so on brand, wouldn't it, if that was the case? Oh, incredible. Anyway, well, you know what? A little overbuilt. The spirit's there. You know, it's honestly not the worst thing in the world. We can always send this relay off somewhere else if we don't want to leave it around Moho. So I'm not feeling too hurt about it. It's fine. It's all part of the learning experience. If someone could tell me why the difference in orbital velocity is so extreme. I guess higher up you move slower, right? Because you travel the same... No, but shouldn't you be moving faster higher up because you're traveling more distance? Maybe? I understand it's like a parabola, so a I don't know. Someone smarter than me, please go ahead and explain this phenomenon in the chat if you'd be so kind. Okay, so we've actually got a bit of a challenge now because we've got two probes arriving at around about the same time. What that results in is that we're going to need to do very long burns, basically simultaneously, which is not easy to do. Not in this game, not in any game. Even though Kerbal Space Program kind of like requires that of you, it's not really a game that provides you with the tools to do it. At least not in the base game. And none of the mods we have kind of allow for that kind of simultaneous burn planning. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly in with Griffin 1. We're going to start Griffin 1's burn early, be a bit more wasteful with it. Because again, we have, 12,000 meters per second of delta V. We really overbuilt this one. And I feel no shame about it whatsoever. We're no more flybys, okay? None. What are you going to cost me? You're lower. So you should, if my hypothesis is correct, you should cost me more delta V to circularize. You cost me less. I don't understand how orbits work. I think, you know what it is? I think the last time, because there's two orbital transfer points for Moho and Kerbin. And there's one where you're at, like, if you draw a line from Kerbin to the sun to Moho, the angle that makes could be like 110. There's another one where it could be like 100, 270. And I think, is that right? 110, 270? No, it would be 250, right? Yeah, 250. So I think the previous window we launched into was the wider angle, if I had to make an assumption, because right now I look at this and that's about a 110 to my guesstimation. It's not quite 90, it's about 110. And I think we previously launched with Moho was over here, and that caused us to require twice as much delta V. So that's really important to learn. Yes, we did have a transfer window. Yes, we could make the intercept, but the alignment wasn't perfect. And maybe something like Transfer Window Planner, the mod, would be better suited to this kind of work. But okay, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. Let's go ahead and fast forward. We got some science coming up in the lab shortly. When do we get to Moho? In 113 days. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch over to the banana stand. I'm going to farm up some science, and I will see you guys when we're ready to burn.
2,000 years later.
Okay, bada bing. It's burn time. I don't know what that means. I didn't know how to segue into this segment of the video. Okay, we're gonna burn. We're gonna capture around Moho. Both probes are very, very close to the planet. Do we have a better visual this time around? Because man, we had a terrible shot last time. It was like directly in the sun. Is it doing it to me again? Are you doing this to me again? Moho should be there. We're flying like straight at it. Maybe we're still too far away. I don't know. No, there it is. Hiding down there. Okay, that's a much better shot this time. Okay, we're still an hour away from our actual, like, sphere of influence change, and it only takes 20 minutes, allegedly, for us to slice off this velocity. We do have to produce a lot less than we did last time, which is pretty sweet. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort of cut it in the middle here, and I'm actually gonna fly a little closer, just a touch, and I'm actually gonna do something a little crazy mode. I'm going to start burning before we even make it into the sphere of influence. And that is going to drop our periapsis. Oh, it's actually raising it. Astonishing. The rationale here is just that we're gonna need to do some of this burn. We need to slow down a little bit, right? And of course, as we fall towards Moho, we will pick up some of this velocity again. But if I can shave off like 500 meters per second of delta V and still have an intercept, I'd rather do it this way. Because I'm very, very, very worried about not having enough thrust, because we're only at what, 0.15 thrust to weight ratio here. I'm a bit worried that we won't have enough thrust to actually complete this maneuver while moving past Moho. You guys saw how quickly we actually sped past it on the previous approach. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, I've done something a little kooky crazy over here. I've actually put my periapsis inside Moho. In other words, we're going to crash into Moho. The reason I'm doing that is I don't want these fuel tanks polluting the sky. So we're going to ditch them now. They're going to fly off into the distance. And those are going to harmlessly crash back into Moho. And we are going to burn. I'm exploiting the time warp glitch there. I feel no shame, none whatsoever. We're going to burn and just put ourselves into a 30-kilometer orbit. And that way the debris will just harmlessly crash into the surface. Now, we could have waited, actually, now that I think about it. And we will do this with the next one, because why not? We could have waited until we had a probe on the surface and then ditched these. We have so much extra fuel, it doesn't matter. Because these will impact, and we can use the seismic readers we've got on these probes to gather some more science data. Which, I mean, I suppose now is as good a time as any to quickly go over what we've got. This is the first probe. It was sort of a test of concept, or proof of concept. It is clearly massively overbuilt. I completely misunderstood how the orbital interactions work. Now I know. That's the beauty of this game, is you forget more than you know. 2,000 hours, and I don't think I've ever actually landed on Moho before. Like, ever. I keep doing the same mistake of just flying past it with not enough delta V, and now I've got too much delta V. Can't win with some people, huh? Anyway, on this probe, it's super basic stuff. It's just 4 mystery goo experiments. You know, we can do like a high orbit, low orbit, yada, yada, yada. And we've actually already got the high orbit one, but yeah, might as well send it again. Why not? Just to knock that off. We've also got a couple extra ones for different biomes, because we've got so much fuel, we might be able to move these around. That's the basic premise. So this is going to slowly but surely whip around. I need to switch over to our other ship and get it into a parking orbit, which I don't think we need to show. There's not exactly much going on there. And then we will land these.
Tomorrow.
All right, excellent. Both of the Griffin missions are now in place, and we're looking pretty good. So we've got our relay in a 1 million kilometer orbit, and we've got our first land of the Griffin 1 in a much lower 30 kilometer, sort of fairly symmetrical orbit around Moho. So, we've taken a look at the first lander. Let's take a look at the second. And in fact, the second is actually made up of 3 distinct probes. So the first is this little relay probe over here. This is our, we'll call it the first one can be Moho 1. This one will be Moho 2. This one over here will be Moho 3, and this one will be Moho 4. So let's go through them in order. Moho 1 had all of the basic science experiments. Moho 2 is a little bit different. This has got all of the USI surface experiments, right? They provide a lot of science, but you got to get down to the ground to do them. So we left all the other orbital stuff behind and just packed these. And then, in keeping with our rule, the following probes have less and less science on them each time. This one has, I think, 6 experiments on it, or 7? No, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's got 5 experiments. This one here has, I think, just 1 and 2. There's a thermometer on there as well, just in case we need to use, in case I switch to it and we need to do some science. But this is mostly just a materials bay. The purpose of Moho 3 is really just to deliver the rover. And each of these will be named after channel members. So thank you all again so much for your support. So I think this is our first rover, isn't it? Oh, no, we had the couch potato, right? The cheese mobile. Is for Kerbal, but we haven't actually used this, and I haven't tested it yet, so I really hope it works. It's got a probe core sitting back there, a couple of antenna, some solar panels, and a big battery. It's all got basic experiments on it. I think it'll have enough juice to transmit everything, but you never know until you know. Now, let's have a quick look at our milestones. So we have orbited Moho, more money, and we have entered suborbital flight on Moho, more money. That all is from our initial entrance with the Griffin 1. And then we've also completed a contract I picked up, which was to orbit Moho. I had to cancel the Start Exploring Eve contract and pick up the Moho contract. So now I believe if we switch back to the Space Center, we should be able to pick up a contract to land on Moho. Yeah, there it is. So, manned return from orbit of Moho? That's not happening. Screw that. You ain't gonna catch me coming back here ever again. This is a one-hit wonder for a fellow such as myself. There is no reason to come down here. I mean, there's plenty of cool resources and stuff, but we'll just find them elsewhere. I'm not too worried about all that. But we are going to land the Moho 1. Okay, where do we want to touch down? I mean, I think the big crater has got to be the first place we check out, right? It's got to be. Like, it just has to be the first place we check out. With our orbits around Moho steady and secure, it was finally time to marvel at what 2,000 hours of combined KSP planning prowess looks like. Looks like I f***ed up every single element of this is what it looks like. Okay, so where do we want to touch down? I mean, it's got to be the big crater, right? Okay, that's kind of solved itself. 8,000 meters per second of delta V might be a little overkill, but we will use what we can use, and then the rest of this will be left. Oh, you know what? We could just leave this in orbit. That is a lot of liquid fuel. I don't know if we'll ever come back here with the manned mission, but if we do, having, what, 3,000 units more, 5,000 units of liquid fuel just sitting in orbit actually seems like a totally sensible thing. So, you know what? We're gonna decouple this. Should I boost it up to a higher orbit first then? Oh, hold on. Hold on. The brain's braining now. 30 kilometers was nice, but maybe 100k just because it makes rendezvous so much easier if you can move your orbit around a bit more, and it's easier to move it if it's higher up. So yeah, you know what? Quick adjustment, just in case, on the incredibly, vanishingly small chance we actually ever voluntarily come back here. I'm gonna make these adjustments. Okay, there we go. Now, of course, that is just a little bit more that our little probe is gonna have to compensate for, but I think that's okay. I think it'll handle it. So why don't we warp over to here, and then we'll decouple, and let's try and land inside this crater. Oh, that's gonna keep rotating, isn't it? Well, that's some extra fun challenge. Should we ever return? Okay, so first things first, activate the little engine. Gorgeous. Deploy your landing gear so you don't forget. Now, Moho does rotate, but I think it's tidally locked, right? Like Ike? Okay, then we just lock retrograde, and we start flying. Now, many people begged me to switch from surface mode, sea level, to actual ground level. I believe the crater we're flying into, it's basically the same thing. This is the sea level of Moho, were there to be a sea, which I don't know if you've noticed, there is not. There is something so infinitely respectable about a probe just straight up T-posing on a planet as it descends, with the Milky Way in the background. Listen, okay? Men want one thing, and it's beautiful. Hold the front door? Are those hexagons? Oh my god. Moho's carbon fiber. I couldn't find a joke. Moho's full of bees. Moho-ho and a bottle of rum, brother. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Also, goddamn, it's hard to land on this thing. It takes a lot of delta wee. It's called delta wee because that way it's more fun. Did you get it? It's like delta wee. Yippee! I need to see a psychiatric specialist, man. The worms, they're digging deep. We need to get who specializes in like parasitology? We need to get one of them. Parasitologists? I don't know. I've only watched the movie once. Ooh, what are these rather strange Giant's Causeway-esque landforms upon Moho's surface? Well, good thing we've got ourselves a little rover on the other platform. Oh god, that's very red, isn't it? Holy this Parallax. You've outdone yourself, Parallax, man. Don't break. Well, we have landed. And we are not leaving. Well, let's take a little tour of what we've just accomplished. 403,000 rubles for a successfully landing, and another 462,000 for successfully landing. That is economy, baby. That's good stuff. Okay, so you observe the mystery goo. Go ahead, transmit that data. Oh, crud. I should have picked some up on the way in. Huh. Okay, here's a plan. Here's a plan. Pin that. I have a rather silly idea. I'm going to quick save just in case this is a terrible idea. What we're going to do is we're going to fold up this. And we're going to briefly... Does that count as in space near Moho? It does. I am the Cheese Meister. I am the god of cheese. Okay, so this one was named after Beppe86. Sure, why not? This will be our Moho 1 lander, codename Beppe. Thank you very much, Beppe, for your support. We appreciate you tremendously, and your sacrifice shall not be forgotten. Although it's entirely plausible that your mission profile may be. Look at all the materials. Let's study them. 122 science from that as well. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, now there's still plenty to be done. Let's get to it. Okay, our next point of order is actually not going to be to drop my probes in, believe it or not. It is going to be to whip round to my periapsis real quick. And the reason we're doing this, and I don't know why we're tumbling through space. It's a little undignified. But okay. The reason we're going to be doing this is I want to drop my apoapsis down. I want to burn off the rest of this fuel, drop those pods into the planet's surface so that we can record the seismic data, and we'll actually do it one at a time, or at least we'll space them out slightly. Then, oh, we have to go retrograde. So maximum burn. I should definitely quick save on that, just in case it bugs out. Yeah, so we want to drop the pods at different times, basically, so that we can switch over to our landed unit there, to the Beppe, and we can wait for the impacts and then transmit them as they land. And I think the other landings we're about to do will also count as seismic data. So let's see, we might be able to farm quite a bit, because I think it's 250, then 200, then 150, 150. Like, you can get quite a bit out of it. Sort of a n equals n minus 1 type of situation. Boom. And then what we're going to do is a bit odd here. We're actually going to enable debris view, so I can just see where it is. And we're actually going to do this. And then... oh, we have to change the trajectory. Right. I always forget. This one's going to fall much faster. We do something like that. And then what I'm going to do is ditch this one. So that one will land first. And then we go over to our retrograde vector and we burn. I don't think this thing not vectors. By the way, for those of you wondering, hey, Large Unemployed, how the hell are you doing this without radiators? Brother, straight up truth, I don't know. I think the laws of thermodynamics took a look at what we're up to over here and just kind of gave up. Because I forgot to put them on. And it does not seem to have affected the mission in the slightest. I think I have a feeling that this engine is bugged. I don't think it's correctly generating the heat it's supposed to. That is, honest to God, the truth. Okay, let's watch the fireworks. So here come the debris. So that one should land first. And we're just going to have to wait for that seismic data to come in. It's going to land on the dark side. Nice. So that should have given us... nothing. That's a shame. Do I need to be like watching it when it hits the ground? I don't know how this works. I'm assuming it just sort of went out of physics range and didn't render the impact. So let's just do it from here. The rod from God. Kablam! Ah, seismic data recorded. Okay, so that is how you do it. Understood. 400 science that time round. Okay, definitely worth doing. Oh man, wish I'd known that for the other one. Okay, well, 400 science is nothing to scoff at. Let's go ahead and land these other 2 probes. Okay, orbit fixed. Now we need to land, and I guess, yeah, we'll do it from here. This is fine. Let's start by dropping off both of yous. You can all pop out. Decouple. And then we need to, again, decouple. Okay, because this one he'll be okay on his own. This is the one I want to do first. And dunk. I've got a hat. Okay, I'm just going to twist our orbit a little so that we can actually like get onto the sunny side of things. And let's go for it. In fact, if we adjust our orbit ever so slightly more, we could actually land inside that there crater, which could be really, really cool. Okay, this one is named after Keith Sharp, and we're going to call it the Sharpshooter. There we go, because this is going to be our bullseye. We're definitely not going to crash into the surface terribly and gain another 350 science. No, that would be an egregious waste of resources. Wait a minute, why don't I have a relay signal? What have I done wrong? Did I not put a battery on my relay? Oh, largely, you stupid idiot. Oh, it's so on brand. It's just so on brand. Okay, well, at least we've got this. I mean, we've got 22% signal strength. That'll be fine, right? That'll be fine. I wasn't using it anyway. I love that even though all the probes are like kind of very similar, they all have a very distinct look, right? Like the Sharpshooter is sort of much more compact and streamlined than the other ones. And my relay is a pile of space junk. Sometimes my own brilliance astounds me. Okay, well look, at least the other one is actually a relay, but I don't think that it's enough of a relay, is it? Ah, well, we're about to find out. What is that over there? Do you guys see that? Hold on. Hold on. We need to investigate that. Insofar as this is possible, we need to investigate that. Get as close as you can. Okay, and then from there, I need you to burn this way. Oh, stop it. Need you to burn like this. Let's move that marker over. What is that? Is that a croissant? It's a complete fluke that I came down here next to something. What even is that? It's a vent. It's like a volcanic vent of some kind. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, well, touchdown achieved. Hell yeah, brother. I can't believe we pulled that off. Oh, man. Okay, so, well, we know there's no atmosphere. Shock and awe. These Moho rocks are really cool looking, though. Aren't they? Okay, I want to see, as foolish as this is, I kind of want to get over there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I'll take it. Ooh, my antenna. Ooh, my solar panels. Ooh. Thankfully, solar panels do like 5x work at this time, this close to the sun. Okay, take me up. What is happening? Oh, no. Oh, no. Why is this open? None of my controls are working. I don't know what's happening. None of my I was trying to move like left and right and it opened these. Sure, I guess we'll just look at that from a distance. Why not? Okay, well, sharpshooter. I don't know what went wrong, but listen, mutiny will not be accepted. You shall now be abandoned to the wastes of Moho. Enjoy. Okay, so rather tragically, I did not put batteries or a probe core on that relay, meaning that it is as useful as you'd expect. But I have gone ahead and dropped our next lander, which is the Moho 3, into its little periapsis. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give it a little bit more juice right now. I want to bring that orbit back up over, because what I've realized is that we are so incredibly unbalanced right now, as you can see as I drift away, that we actually can't use this craft in this state. It's got a little rover, and I completely blanked on how poor the thrust to weight ratio is on these Spark engines. Look at that, 0.31, even fully loaded. It's ridiculous. So we're not going to be able to slow down fast enough coming in at this height. But maybe, and it's a big maybe we can slow down fast enough if we go down to this height. If we like sort of really bring it in low, wipe out as much of that orbital velocity already, like that, all the height and the horizontal velocity and all of it. You know what we can do to try and rectify this a little bit while we're dropping that apoapsis there? We can try and pump some fuel onto the other side of the craft, is what I would have said, but I didn't put a goddamn fuel tank there like I was supposed to. Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes, man. Oh my goodness. I had all the right plans and I did none of them. I did literally not a single one of them. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, let's try this. Let's try pumping as much fuel as possible into the lower tank. That should help stabilize it at least a little, right? Wait, have I got that backwards? I might have got that backwards. Pump it back up top. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I'm firing in the dark here. I just want to keep my boy alive. We may have to ditch him. 10 seconds to the suicide. It's too. I'm sorry.
No, my boy! Father,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my baby child. I'm gonna have to leave you. I'm gonna have to chuck you into the wastes. Oh, my poor little rover. Oh, the mission was in jeopardy. I had to do it. Okay, well, we may have lost our beautiful little rover, but at the very least, we can still touch down. And I think I'll go for this little flat spot here, betwixt the mountains. Where is my signal coming from? Oh, shit. 1% signal strength, huh? We might lose signal here. Another volcanic vent. Okay, so they're not that rare. Come on, keep my signal. Keep my signal. Bounce it through the valleys. Bounce it through the valleys. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. We're 500 meters off. Switch to altitude. Oh, just hold signal. Hold signal for a few more seconds. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm on the slope. It's a shame, but it is what it is. We just need to touch down. We just need to touch down. We just need to touch down. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, we did it. Oh my god, we smashed every solar panel, but we did it. We did it. We landed on this god-forsaken planet. Moho probe strategy complete. I'm never, ever, 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 ever coming back here. Call me Taylor Swift, because we are never getting back together. Listen, your friends talk and my friends talk and your friends talk to me and they're telling me, hell nah, dude, I'm done with this place. God damn it. Oh, we ran out of juice. Oh, no. No. It's the most tragic tumble. Well, Moho 3 was an unmitigated disaster. The ASA Explorer has certainly left its imprint several dozen times now on the surface of Moho. You want to just watch this? Let's just watch this keep going. Oh, we finished the contract. Oh, we finished it. I've learned so many lessons about triple checking my workflow, though. The Duna mission we do with the Kerbal one is going to be better. I'm confident. Man, what a journey this was, huh? Well, everybody, on that note, thank you very much for being here. This has been an absolute treat to play some Kerbal Space Program with you, and I am very excited to finally catch up on the comments. A lot of this, up till this point, has been pre-recorded, a little bit of backlog for Magic to work through. Again, as many of you who are new here may not know, I am not actually largely unemployed. I work, including this, we're now at 3 jobs, 4th one currently on hiatus, but soon to resume. Yes, that is, you heard that right, that's 3. 2 part-time legal gigs where I help NGOs with their humanitarian work. A full-time teaching gig in South Korea for visa purposes, because my partner really wants to stay here, and I love her very much, and so I'm putting up with it. And then YouTube, because inexplicably, at 31 years old, I still feel the need to do this with my times. And I'm very glad that you're all enjoying it. I'm just joking. It's so much fun. I wouldn't stop it. Even if I would probably still be doing it even if we weren't getting paid. And yeah, so thank you all very much to all the wonderful channel members who make this content possible. I wouldn't be able to justify the time if not for your incredible support and dedication. And to everybody watching, every single click really matters. So please share it with your grandma. She told me last time I saw her that she really misses you and you should probably call. Until next time, everybody, thank you all so much for being here, and we will see you all in the next one. Cheers. At what 2,000 hours of combined KSP planning prowess looks like. Looks like I f***ed up every single element of this is what it looks like. I didn't put a Procore on the relays, and I put the f***ing rover on the side. It's like, have you done this before? Because, like, yeah, obviously I have. I did a Moho transfer 3rd try. Okay, listen, hold on. Maybe the evidence isn't as concrete as I thought. Look, I can go to Duna in my sleep, okay? Listen, Mark, Watney, if you're out there, I'm listening. I need the help. I need to science the shit out of this goddamn sleep schedule. Oh, the worms. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?